Hey, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, everyone from around the world. Welcome to AME's first 2-second lean AI Roundtable. We've got an incredible sharing session with you today. For those that have been with us previously, my name is Richard Evans. I'm with AME Canada, and we've got some great experts with us today. We're going to do a roundtable that's a little bit different from our previous roundtables. Previously, we had people send in questions all the while, and we would display those and ask the leaders to answer those questions. But today, we're going to be doing a little bit different with AI, artificial intelligence, and we've got three fantastic leaders from our 2-second lean community who have used AI in their business to help improve flow, to help improve communication, etc. And we will be sharing some short videos with you. And then at the end of the videos, we're going to go into a Q&A session in the round table. So I'm going to now hand you over to my good friend, Paul Akers, who's going to introduce everybody, and we're going to get some introductions. Over to you, Paul.
Okay, thanks, Richard. So real quickly, how this all came about is these three gentlemen, Nick, Sebastian, and Will, along with many other in the 2-second lean community, have used AI very, very effectively at very high levels. And I thought to myself one day, you know what? We should be learning from these people because they're doing it at such a high level. So I said, Richard, can we do a roundtable for AI? Richard said yes. I said, okay, let's try to do it. So we're experimenting. Hopefully this works and it's useful to all of you. So at the outset, I just want to say this. I love AI. I use it every day, probably an hour to 2 hours on every possible thing. But I am a neophyte. I'm a baby compared to Nick, Sebastian, and Will. They're using AI at a very high level, and I saw that, and I thought we need to learn from them. I need to learn from them. Let's see if we can help the 2-second lean community adopt and utilize this fabulous tool. Having said that, I want to make sure everyone's clear where I'm coming from on AI. I personally do not think AI is the end-all be-all. I think it's a fabulous tool and very useful. But if you're using AI and you're so wrapped up in it, you're spending all your time in front of your computer and your phone using it, you're missing it. That's not what life's about. Life's about being with your grandchildren, by your pool, walking in the woods, off your phone, talking to your wife, talking to your spouse at dinner time. It's not about being wrapped up in AI. So I just want to caution everyone, we don't want to go AI 24/7. Use it appropriately as a tool. Having said that, let's get going, Richard.
Now we need to do introductions of our three
Okay.
leaders, Paul. Okay,
Nick.
Nick.
Yeah. Hey, everyone. Thanks for joining. I'm Nick from a company called Valley View Industries, a cedar products manufacturer located in British Columbia, Canada.
Okay, Sebastian.
Yeah, warm welcome from Germany. I'm Sebastian. I'm running a business selling refurbished server hardware called ServerShop24.
Very cool.
And I'm Will. I own Tennessee Cheesecake. We make frozen desserts. We're based just outside of Nashville in Lebanon, Tennessee.
Wow. So nice diversity from all over the world. We've got a great group. Let's rock and roll, Richard.
Hey, I'm Nick from Valley View Industries, a cedar products manufacturer located in British Columbia, Canada. And 6 months ago, our pricing, production tracking, order flow, and our morning meeting was spread across spreadsheets, PowerPoint, whiteboards, paper, and in people's memory. I'm not a software developer, I'm not a coder, and I was definitely a C student. But using AI and most importantly, lean thinking, we built a system that helps us quote faster, see problems sooner, and run the shop with less guessing. This video is not about showing off a really cool, perfect software, although it is really cool. It's about how AI helped us make work visible. Before I really get started in this video, quick shout out to Paul Akers for 2-second lean. A ton of lean thinking went into this project. Shout out to Brendan Fritz for initially showing me bolt.new and showing what was really possible with it. And shout out to the guys at JJB for posting some videos of some simple apps using bolt.new, which is the application we built the board on, which you're about to see. So thank you everyone for making videos and inspiring me. In our company, we have a lot of different divisions. This was one of them. And we thought this was pretty good, with a crumb trail going into this cupboard to look for different pieces of paper. But since we've gone to the AI system, we've gotten rid of all of our paper. We are gone totally paperless. And for any pricing, a lot of things were not standardized yet. So things would be crossed out. My team members would be writing question marks on the price book, like, okay, we got to ask Nick what this price is, or can we even build this? And AI forced us to standardize this. But we didn't jump right into it. We started improving our paper process and how we made clipboards and the way that these flowed through our facility before we got started with AI. I got started in Bolt.new with a very simple prompt. I said, let's build a website that is a price book that's easy to edit. And here's a reference image of one of our price books for fencing. And we'll also have a section called lumber. And I click build, I created an account. I set up a website all through Bolt.new in about 5 minutes. I built a website in 5 minutes? Oh my gosh, and it actually works, and I can change the information and update it myself, and it's live on the internet. I couldn't believe it, so I just went on a rampage of putting more prompts and building out the site. I stayed up really late that night thinking about all the struggles in my company and how I could solve paperwork flow from this price book I started building. We started using it in the business the very next day, and it was rough around the edges, but it's all about continuous improvement. Within 2 weeks, we had no more paperwork. And the thing about AI is it forces you to do standardized work. There is no gray area with AI. It's yes or no. Here I'm using the board to book a quote. And the great thing about this is we only need to enter the customer's information one time. Before, we would manually write it and transcribe it on many different pieces of paper. Once we book a quote, we can open that quote on the way to the customer's home. We can send them a notification via text message through the board that we're on our way. And when we're there, we can actually not even use paperwork. We can use our cell phone or tablet to open and build the quote. We enter in the key details of the fence project, like how long it is, how tall it is, and what style of fence. We now offer 2 styles of fencing with 2 stain color options. We can enter in the amount of gates or anything like that, and in one click, it builds a professional quote that matches the style that we would get from our accounting software. Even a little nicer, I might add. In one more mouse click, we can actually send this quote PDF to a customer. It attaches our standardized contract, and it will attach our payment terms. And we can even have a payment link here, but as you can see, this one is over $10,000, so it doesn't suggest credit card to our team. In one more click and entering in the amount we received from the client, we can enter the order into production with one click, and it goes to something that we call the release queue. And this is a waiting area for orders to make sure we have all the materials ready before it can actually be released into production. In the release queue is where we can set up the pipeline, which departments the order will flow through. Before orders go into production, we can also enter the tack time, and the system will automatically suggest tack time off of previous times on previous similar builds. From here, the orders get pulled to production on our orders page if capacity allows, because each department has a work in progress limit that we can adjust to maximize flow, because we can visually see how things are flowing through the facility. Work orders can get sent directly to the job site, and then from the job site, they can send panel measurements that are standardized in 1/8-inch increments to the builder. So the fence style is always pre-entered, all the customer information. And then here at our fence panel building station, we can click start work, and it will track how long we spend on each fence panel. And then when we click done, it will generate a PDF for the order with the measurement, the number and sequence, who it's built by. We have different user accounts for each one of our team members. And then we can hit print, and then we've added in a label printer, which we stick these on the sides of our fence panels. So we have all the details, the stain color, and the size, so we know exactly what to do. Before, we just wrote things in pencil, And boy, did we have a lot of the waste with this process. And quite possibly my favorite improvement about the board is our morning meeting. All right, the morning meeting, what's really cool is we can select a music track, sync to 7 a.m. and click start. So right now it's currently 663 minutes and 45 seconds until 7 a.m. when we start our morning meeting. We also just recently added the weather here with some key details. At 7 a.m., it automatically goes to our attendance slide, who's off today and who's off tomorrow. And we track attendance because all the details from the morning meeting are saved behind the scenes. Internal learnings, this was actually our defect slide, but we've turned it to internal learnings and customer learnings. And we actually have a spot to record any new learnings from the day before. Voice of the process, this is a brand new slide from the last day. Since we track on data for delay and stopped, it will give us our most common things that are reoccurring. So this here, changing the band is getting worse on the sawmill 3 times this week. So maybe we should be changing that on our break. How can we improve the process? Stretch break for 2 minutes, of course, and we can put a YouTube URL in if the team members want different music. Safety moments, observation, risks, and how we stay safe. And then this is a unique slide, our Hanka 10 follow-up. So Hanka 10 is just change point, but we track any potential change point, anything that's different from the day before. And then we get to assign people to follow up on it and verify it. So you can see we have lots here, but nothing is getting forgotten about. So a really important slide. And then this is where we enter them in, anything that could cause a potential defect. So we're trying to avoid defects before they happen. And spin the wheels. We have a lean trivia here, which is really cool because I recently asked AI in Bolt.new, hey, look at our entire production system and come up with a good series of questions that will engage the team. So we have all of our team members there and we can spin for them to answer different questions. 3S and Kaizen. So Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we have this slide where we have Kaizen teams. So the team on the left there, they're making a dry lumber storage roof. And I'm just going into edit mode here. But every day of the week, we have different slides. Our last one here, so it will, depending on who's off that day, we'll get someone selected to rate the meeting for how prepared it was out of 5. And we try to start with something that's constructive and then something that's positive for real feedback, which has been a game changer. And then we spin for the next meeting leader. But here, some people are off. So Caden is the next eligible person. So he'll lead the next meeting. And then finally, we can click on Finish Meeting and open Production Board. And then we go over production for the day. Here you can see that we have a digital record of our last 70 meetings since we've been doing our morning meetings in the board here. So it's really cool that we can look back on different Hanka 10 and safety, attendance, and other key aspects. So if anyone else wants to try a project like this, my advice is simple, and it's to start really small. Maybe it's by making a price book. Maybe it's by making a calculator, a maintenance checklist, and then building it from there. One of the mistakes I made early on was trying to build 40 features at once and to start building a big system, and it crashed and burned pretty quickly. So it's good to start slow and then to build it up from there, one prompt at a time, one function at a time, even testing things for days or weeks before adding onto it. Lean still applies, one-piece flow. Don't make a big batch of improvements with your AI project. And I want to be honest, this project wasn't super easy to build. It took a really long time. I'm still working on it. I had to learn some technical things about databases along the way, which I recommend watching a few YouTube videos on. I never did. I just jumped straight into the deep end. And the danger with AI, I think, is that it can build really fast. And if you don't have a clear process, it's a good way to crash and burn. So you need to make sure that you have really clear standards in your business before you try to create a digital system, because AI can just complicate it way too fast. So that's the project we built here at Valley View Industries. It started with price book chaos and it turned into the board, which is a bit of a play on words, by the way. We have lots of, we're woodworkers, so we got boards all over the place. And we had boards up on the wall, and we still have some whiteboards, of course. But yeah, we love the board. Helps us with our pricing, production, bottlenecks, defects, maintenance, and daily management all in one place. And the biggest improvement was not the software. The biggest improvement was making work visible, because once the work is visible.
Okay, so first of all, that was outrageous, Nick. Outrageous. So I have two quick questions. Everything we do right now is going to be rapid fire. We have two more people that need to present. If you have a question for Nick, type it in there. Richard, you're going to ask the question. Nick will answer it live. So 2 questions, Nick. Number 1, visualization. I love it. When you were going through the order form, immediately I thought to myself, why don't we have a picture of the gate you're making? Why don't we have a picture of the fence you're making? Why don't we have a picture of the production and make it a little more visual? That's totally possible, correct?
100%. Yeah.
Okay. I would like to see that. That would be really cool. The next thing I have for you, Nick, what are you spending a month right now currently supporting your AI? Is it $100 a month? Is it $1,000 a month? What's it costing you?
I'm currently spending about 600 USD per month with AI tokens to do improvements.
Okay, very good. Nick, over the top. Richard.
My name is Sebastian. I run ServerShop24, and in this video I want to show you 10 things we fixed in our company with the help of AI and some vibe coding. Starting with some super simple stuff everybody can copy. Moving to some medium level stuff absolutely everyone can copy. And we are ending with some pretty advanced things that everyone can copy too. I promise. Let's get into it. This one is easy because all I need to do is press and hold this button. I'm much faster at talking than typing, especially in my mother tongue German. And if I release the button again, you will see the text appear in no time, without typos and even with formatting if suitable. There are a lot of free apps that do this. I use Whisperflow, but there are also a lot of free options. Just search for Whisper or Dictation app. And if you haven't tried those latest generations of dictation apps, you should. I love learning by watching YouTube videos, but I also only have 24 hours, so I need to triage quite a lot. To soften my fear of missing out, this is what I do a few times a day. I just copy the URL and paste it into my favorite AI. In this case, it's ChatGPT, and it will find the transcript itself. And sometimes you have to paste it in manually. If you have to, down there is the link, show transcript, and then you have it up there. Also, I have this ongoing chat with basically the prompt, hey, go and get the transcript for every YouTube video I paste, summarize for me what are the key takeaways, what can I apply today, and what is especially useful for me. This only works because in this case, ChatGPT knows a lot about me. Sometimes half an hour video becomes 5 useful bullet points, and that's exactly what's happening here. I can really scan this quite fast and see there's nothing groundbreaking for me, and I can move on. I have a secret to share. AI never gets tired of her questions and it never judges you. So when you don't understand something, just ask. Explain it simply. Give me an example. Explain like I'm 5. Why does that matter? I learned so much from AI by just asking when I didn't understand fully. The moment you start asking, you start learning. And this works with every AI, and this removes the biggest friction from learning, the fear to ask because it might sound dumb. We've all been there, right? And all you need to do is explain like I'm 5, and you get a better explanation. If that is not enough, just ask again. One comment from the editing room, this is especially useful when coding and vibe coding, because you can get an understanding of what he's building for you, and you should do that. And this directly leads to the next point on my list. AI as a personal language coach. Some of our employees want to improve their English or German if it's not their mother tongue. And in the past we had teachers, classes, schedules, mixed skill levels, and it's always awkward timing, right? But now with AI, you can teach every person individually whenever they have time. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, late at night, 50 minutes 3S time, speaking, reading, writing, corrections, vocabulary, whatever is the area that you need to improve the most. Therefore, we now have one dedicated AI learning machine that everyone can take. And we are currently trying out a few different options of dedicated AI learning apps and also just plain ChatGPT. And in a few weeks from now, I will have some experience with it. If you have any questions, just reach out to me. I'm happy to help. Every few years, I have to update my credit card information. Super annoying. But this time, I just gave my transaction history to Claude and said, please take this credit card statement and give me a list sorted by importance and frequency. Also research the latest link to the part of the website where I can change my credit card information, because that is what I have to do. And this is fake data, obviously. It now takes a moment or two. All I have to do now is work through this list and not work through going through the whole statement page by page and check if there's something important on page 17 that I missed. And because I have the links, it even goes much faster. So lots of time saved. And that's really a prime example that you can use AI for. Super simple, boring admin stuff. And all you have to do is give him the right context and ask for what you need. I assume everyone watching this video knows what vibe coding is, but if not, it's basically telling the AI what kind of program or website you want to have. For example, all I said was generate the front page of a project management software for internal company improvements, and it did this in a few minutes without any more input from my side. And if you want to change something, you just give it the vibe. Make it more look like a vacation on Hawaii. It's a little bit stupid, but I wanted to show why it's called vibe coding. We are not only talking about appearance, it's also the features and properties of the software that can be talked into existence. And look at this, now we have our improvement tracker Hawaii edition. So that's vibe coding. What you just saw was Claude Code running in its own macOS application. What you now see is Claude Code running on my server, and I interact with it with a so-called terminal. Don't be intimidated, it's almost the same, it just looks different. I just asked Claude Code to make suggestions how to enhance our SEO performance on one of our websites, and it spit out those three, and I can just say, please put it on my Todoist inbox. And I have connected Claude with my Todoist by just giving him an API key. It is now, as you can see, live and in real time making these to-dos, putting them into Todoist. It can also change them and rename them, and everything you can do in Todoist, Claude Code can do for you. Editing Sebastian again. Yesterday, Claude published an official Todoist connector, so you can use the same thing I'm showing with Claude Code also from your regular Claude chats, which is awesome. One thing I've learned is AI is especially good at research. And the beautiful part is the output of the research can be directly the input for a coding session. I'll show you. For example, in this case, we wanted to build an internal time tracking system. So I asked Claude to send out research agents and look at the current solution we're using and the biggest competitors, and asked it to research all the features they have. Also, I asked it to generate a dynamic website with all the features it found and give me a chance to toggle on and off which feature I want to have, to then generate a structured text file, which I then really just copy pasted into the coding session. To get to this level of detail, that would have taken me 10 hours at least, and I'm sure the quality this way is better. And one interesting part here is the whole thing here is one-time use. I'll throw it away afterwards. And that's only possible because the building of that software was basically free. And that's exactly what I want you to do. Build internal tools, fast, small, easy, one-time use if necessary. Websites, browser extensions, Python scripts, whatever. Sometimes you can even copy big open source tools and adapt it to your situation. In the past, it was always like, this software, it's almost perfect. It won't work because of. And custom software mostly was too expensive or did take just too much time. And now we can just talk it into existence. This tool prints our invoices and our production orders exactly the way we need it. And this sounds ridiculous, but it was not possible before. This saves one of my employees over half an hour a day. And the funny thing is, the first version was built in less than half an hour. We built internal KPI trackers for things like cycle time or other performance KPIs, exactly tailored to the processes we have, not the other way around. This tool to manage coding sessions, it was a Mac app and I converted it to a web app on my server in one prompt. We even built an internal food ordering system so everyone gets what he wants and it's as little as work as possible, even for the delivery guy. And this one was fun. When I struggled to explain one-piece flow and the problem with buffers, I built a simulation and it helped a lot. And I even can play around with different scenarios. And that's what I love about vibe coding. Suddenly, the software adapts to me and my company. And now the biggest unlock of them all. Just like always in Lean, it might start with the leaders, but it should absolutely not stop there. For decades, software was never directly built on the Gemba. We all know the people closest to the problems have the best ideas, but someone else was paid to build the solution. Now, software can actually be developed on the Gemba by the people on the Gemba. This is a game changer. We already have more than a handful of employees with zero programming experience using our internal vibe coding environment. Fun fact, the vibe coding environment was vibe coded itself. We even built a local AI server so we can work with customer data without privacy concerns. And even the people that do not vibe code themselves have a direct way to submit bugs and feature requests. The moment they realize how quick the vibe coding genie can grant their wishes, the ideas start pouring in. I have personally seen improvements that would have been completely unreasonable just 1 year ago. I've even built smartphone apps that might turn into real products. And I want to be as clear as possible. As a lean company, fast change is in our DNA. But vibe coding has opened a time window where individuals and companies can move dramatically faster than before. And for a short while, probably much faster than your competition. At least until all this gets common knowledge. So fix what bugs you and happy vibe coding.
Speechless. I can't even believe how lucky we are in the 2-second lean community to have these people helping us. Sebastian, that was outrageous. Nick, outrageous. Will is going to be outrageous. I don't even know what to say. That was so incredible. I'm going to watch this video over and over again. We're going to watch it in our morning meeting. Everyone's going to learn this. Over the top. Incredible. Will.
Hi, I'm Will. I'm the CEO of Tennessee Cheesecake. We make frozen desserts for customers all over the country. And we make really, really delicious desserts. And I thought that was where our business category stopped. But now I think about Tennessee Cheesecake as not just a frozen dessert company, but a software company. Just imagine if you could have 12 amazing new employees walk in off the street right now. They knew your systems and your processes and could just hit the ground running, checking emails, not just during business hours, but 24 hours a day. They send proactive messages to your internal messaging system. They're connected to your ERP. They know all of your data and are super excited to learn something new. They are focused on improvement. Today, we're going to talk about 3 things. My agent aha moment, how we went from 0 agents to 12, and how you can get started building your own business software system. So we were inspired to begin our agentic programming journey by Stuart and Zen from Rototherm. They gave a fantastic talk at the Gemba Summit last year, which was in the fall of last year. I highly suggest you check it out. Totally awesome. It blew my mind, like literally blew my mind. They were building agents. I mean, we had done some great prompting and scripting and automated some stuff to really reduce waste in our office and out on the bakery shop floor, but we had not built any software yet. So we launched our first repo on GitHub. We deployed it to Google Cloud, and meet Alex. Alex, can you tell me a little bit about yourself and orient it towards a improvement mindset, a lean thinking mindset.
Okay, got it. Give me just a sec. I'm Alex, an AI assistant used at Tennessee Cheesecake Company to support an improvement, lean mindset by removing friction from the way information moves between the floor, power teams, and people and culture, HR. If lean is about improving flow and eliminating waste, I focus on the information value stream, getting the right answer to the right person at the right time in a standard way. How I fit a lean improvement mindset. Power teams and leaders often lose time not because the work is hard, but because the answers are hard to get.
Alex is deployed to Google Cloud, and she's connected to our internal messaging system via API. Alex doesn't need to make assumptions because she can answer questions based on a vector stored database of our actual policies. Anyone can ask her anything at any time. Sick? Need to call out of work? No problem. Text Alex. This used to be a huge burden on our managers. Tons of back and forth communication. Now it's fully streamlined and has flow. Alex has multilingual support built in because it's an LLM and it speaks almost every language. So this is great for our English as a second language employees. They love it. Alex is connected to our SOP database, and it's amazing. She's become our training scheduler. Want to be trained on a skill? Great. Text Alex. It's 100% friction-free for the trainee and the trainer. Forget to clock out of work? No problem. It happens to everybody, but this used to be a huge burden on the team. Alex is always monitoring the timesheets, and she'll proactively let you know and allow you to correct it. A message goes to your manager. It's super easy. Alex launched in December 2025. OpenClaw went viral in February, and we got to work. I realized the question wasn't, how do I build one good agent? It was, how do I build a factory that builds agents? And this open source thing was just like, it just really opened my mind to the possibility of all the different ways we could use software to reduce waste in the bakery. And then we launched Cake OS. This was a collection of the apps we've been writing, and we've been doing this in silos. Everybody was really excited about Claude Code. We've been learning how to code with the agentic software engineering tools like Claude Code and Codex, and we were building apps in silos. Everyone was building these great apps, and they were super awesome, and they were segregated. And we brought them all together in Cake OS. We made some architecture decisions. Our particular system runs on a fast API backend and a React front end. It's a mono repo with modules, and we based it after software that we were familiar with, which was Odoo. And it's app based, and that's how ours works. Let me show you. So this is Cake OS. There's 3 levels of login. This is public tools. We only have one app on the public tools page. It says fire alarm test. And this may sound crazy, but our landlord used to put the system on test, and they would occasionally, on accident, set off the fire alarm. And we would have to evacuate the entire bakery. It took about 30 minutes and was a huge disruption. Talk about a waste of time. And we built this app. It's a very simple app. It sends a message to our internal messaging system that the system's on test, and then we know that it's on test, and if the alarm sounds, it's a false alarm, we don't have to evacuate. The landlord has access to this and uses it. They love it too. The next level of login is staff login, and this is a pin-based login. This is for folks that don't have a Google Workspace account with us, and this gives them access to the bakery tools they need out on the shop floor so they can do the work. So one of the great apps we've built is called Warehouse Labels, and I'll give you a tour how that works. So I'm out in packaging at the label station in between line 1 and line 2, and this is how you print a label. It's super simple. You just click Next Palette, and it gives you the palette label. It prints 2, because that's the standard, and the great thing about this label is that it has a custom QR code on it. And if you scan that QR code, it shows you all the info you need, customer, product, everything. The first agent we built in Cake OS was Sam. And the reason we built Sam was because we had built a bakery scheduling app, but the reason we built Sam was because it wasn't quite smart enough. And we had to keep improving it and changing it and updating it. And we were like, this really needs to be an agent. And so we built Sam. And Sam's great. He has the ability to connect to our ERP system. Let me show you. Sam, can you show me the orders that shipped out today in case quantities? And also give me, well, just go ahead and give me the whole week and just like a summary, maybe like the top 10 items. So he's got a API connection to our ERP. We use Odoo, and he's got a set of tools that he can use that allows him to search in Odoo, read, write, update, delete in Odoo. And this is super powerful. Not only can he analyze data and query our system, but he can create MOs and edit MOs, alert us on things. It is really next level. You can see he's spitting out this data here. And one of the ways we trained Sam on how to schedule and how to keep an eye on things is with his knowledge files. And we got this idea from OpenClaw, and these are just markdown files. So text files that have Sam's memories and training documentation, and he can reference these and update them. Sam has a soul.md, and this is another idea that we got from OpenClaw, and this really gives your agents personality, and it keeps it fun and lighthearted. We have all different kinds of knowledge files you can see over here, and these get updated all the time just in natural chat. Several of the agents have their own email addresses. Jordan is in charge of logistics, and she has access to a few group boxes, appointments, and she also has her own email address, jordan@tncheesecake.com. Feel free to email her. That would be actually pretty hilarious. And she has the ability to forward emails, full email box ability. Let's just check out a few of these emails that Jordan has handled. So here's an email from a customer. They want to deliver some product into our facility. And this goes to our group inbox, and Jordan says, "Hi, Bill, you're all set. Here are the details for your delivery." And so she looks up all of this information in our ERP and then responds back to the customer, or in this case, the vendor, and handles it. She updates the appointment in our ERP and then communicates. And this is 100% seamless without any human interaction. So you might be wondering, how do I get started with this agent thing? This seems crazy. Well, it's actually super easy. Just ask Claude. I wrote a prompt that you can use. You can also use your own prompt. I want to deploy an AI agent in my business. Will Wilson said start with a major source of waste and model my agent harness after OpenClaw, Hermes, or Chatty. Chatty is a browser-based version of OpenClaw and Hermes that I built, just a little side project. If you have questions about that, feel free to ask me. And then have Claude do some research, internet research, and then ask you questions. You can be the research. And I have Claude ask me questions in a loop until there's no more assumptions or guesses. And I have it do this really interesting trick that I learned from a lean friend of mine named Pablo. And I just give it a visual control. Green is fact, yellow is assumption, and red means I'm guessing. And I have it go until no more guesses, no more assumptions. So what's next? How do you level up your AI game? Well, just start building. Play. Be creative. And you got to practice with these tools. It takes a lot of hours to get good at them. And you can build software, I promise. I have trained all my managers how to build software, and they are incredible engineers. It's all about the ideas. Process and systems are key. Once you get going, building a system, just like you built around your business, is super important to controlling development and making sure it's successful.
Wow. Mind-boggling, Will. And so I have two questions for you, and then Richard, I'll let you field the questions here. Sebastian, first, what are you spending a month implementing AI?
Me personally, I think it's $80 for the ChatGPT or $100 for the ChatGPT Claude subscription, and like $6 for my virtual server.
Oh, come on. No, it's got to be
for one
way more
user.
than that.
For one user.
No,
we have more users.
Total
but for one user, that's
company-wise,
it.
what are you spending approximately USDA or euros a month?
Let's make it 500.
Yeah,
USD.
okay, that sounds right. Will, how about you?
That's a great question, Paul. I don't think about this. It's a lot. And there is zero reason to think about it because the multiple I get on the cost is so massive that it's like a bad question.
Okay, got it.
Yep.
Okay,
You
Richard,
save so much
go
time.
for it.
Okay. All right. Rapid fire. This is for Nick from Marie. How did you choose Bolt? Did you consider other AI applications?
Good.
I just saw Bolt to start with, and I just tried it, and it worked right away. So I didn't even consider anything else.
Okay, good
Okay,
question.
perfect. Next one from Zach for Nick. What doesn't that app or project do? Are you consolidating all information systems into this one application? Seems like a simple, lean NetSuite.
Yeah, so the only thing it doesn't do is our accounting software. It's currently doing absolutely everything else, and it's just one project. So it all talks to each other in one project.
Beautiful.
Okay. So this is from Phil, our friend in New Zealand. How often and long each day or week are you spending on developing the system, Nick?
Usually a half an hour a day during 3S time. Usually my 3S is making improvements to the board.
Yep, could see that happening. And from Phil again, is it just you creating the system or are multiple people working on it, the app? And that's to all three of you. So let's start with Nick.
I'm mostly the only one doing it right now, but we recently hired like a college student who's really good at coding. So he's building it. He's taking it off of the web application onto our own servers. And we're adding in some and-on lights and some code that's actually stored on our computer. So so now two people, I guess, are working on it.
Wow.
Okay, Sebastian. Yeah.
We have about 6 people really working with AI vibe coding, and but the important thing I also had in the video was getting the feedback as soon as possible from your users. And I just looked it up. I had 650 reports in my feedback app, which is spread over every app I use. It's always the same feedback form. And it goes into the same system, and there are only 19 open, so 95% are done.
Okay, and Will?
Wow, Will.
He's got 12 AI agents working on it.
Right. We have about 8 people that are doing active development, so like coding, but everybody is learning. And I think that's really an important thing to think about. You know, as you put these complex tools into play in your business, the learning has to happen for them to be used properly.
Yep. Okay. Just a reminder to everybody, Larry, etc. If you've got questions, please put them in the Q&A, not the regular chat, because we're going through the Q&A. So the next one is from James for Sebastian. What platform would you recommend using for an AI language coach? You mentioned multiple platforms in your video, and I'd like to know what you would recommend and start with.
That's quick. Give me 3 more weeks or 4 weeks so we can try them out. I would just start with plain ChatGPT, to be honest. But we are looking for some AI solutions that also help with the vocalization better, right?
Okay.
Okay, so this is from Stephen. For anyone on the panel, what advice would you give someone at a large corporation with strict IT security restrictions that block access to AI tools like Bolt.new and similar platforms? Have you found any tools or approaches that tend to work better within corporate environments, or is it entirely dependent on each company's policies and a firewall setup? Thank you so much.
Okay, let's go Will first. Go ahead, Will.
I'm so sorry, I can't help you. And I wish I could, but I have no knowledge in that bucket.
Okay, Sebastian.
I think I have 2 answers for that. First of all, you should get the IT guy involved. They need to see the power of it. I have seen so much people working in software companies not knowing the power of vibe coding, and they're completely shocked when I show them. And then the first thing they say is, oh, we're never going to get this accepted in our company. This is insecure. This is that. It's the same with every other improvement. You have to get the people on board, and then you can keep pushing it. And one thing you can do is, we also did that. You can try and play around with local models. There are free open source models that you can run on medium basic hardware, I'd say. On MacBooks, for example, you can run local models. those are not very good now, but they're evolving very fast. And but the good thing is the data completely stays on your computer, so that's something that you should be able to do everywhere.
Okay. Sebastian, I just want to say your English is amazing, and I'm more comfortable listening to your English than I am English speakers. You're incredible. That's not even your
Thanks so
mother
much.
tongue. Okay, Nick, do you have any comment on that?
No, my company is way too small to worry about anything like that. So no help,
Okay.
sorry.
Okay.
Okay, Stephen, I've got a suggestion. Just get the recording, this recording, and share it with your IT people in your company. Okay, let them listen to everything. Let them see the power and the benefit that people are getting from using stuff like this. Okay. So the next one is from Willie. This is for Sebastian. If I have about 10 people making their own micro apps, since they are the experts, how do I centralize them, or do I even need to?
I don't think you have to. We have made the decision that at the moment we are all doing our own small little apps. And I want to keep it like Kaizen foam. Everyone has its own style and everyone can do with it whatever he wants. But as soon as they get business critical, I think they should get into a centralized app like Will with his monorepo he mentioned. Maybe he can go into detail how hard the transition was from micro apps to a central monorepo. But as soon as they get critical for the business, I think you should give them some oversight and get them into a centralized app.
Excellent. Okay, this is for all three. How do you protect confidential knowledge / information? Nick.
I don't worry about it too much as far as building something that other people will see, because by tomorrow, my project's already going to be so far ahead of everyone. I don't worry about that stuff or sharing the information. I put my phone number in this. If you go back and look at it, contact me on WhatsApp if you have any questions, or if you want me to send you like project files. None of it's sacred to me. I'm happy to share. Does that answer the question?
I think so. Sebastian.
I'm very careful with what data really goes through the AIs. So what I do often is I use test data, which I let AI generate, and then I can build the app. And as soon as the app is built, I can run it on my server and pass the real data through it. So the data is not going lost to the AI server. That's one way to do it. But as I said, local LLMs or such things are a solution too.
Yeah, great answer. Will.
So we do a combination of both things that Sebastian mentioned. So local model for once the process is ironed out, you can typically switch it to a local model because then there's less reasoning that needs to happen, which is usually works, but it needs some testing. So, that can get your security back where you're not sending out your data into the cloud to get processed by one of the frontier models. And then the second thing that we think about is this mission critical data that would be some type of security risk? So you can think about that kind of data like your social security number or birth date or something like that. And we want to really be careful with that type of data.
Absolutely. Okay, this one is from Nick for Will. Or your SOP database that the AI agent is connected to. How long did that take to compile all the SOPs that the AI agent is reading?
Oh gosh, how long does it take to compile SOPs? Forever. Never ending,
never stop.
always
stop.
always improving. It is somebody probably made a new one today. And we use Gembadocs, and so Alex is connected to Gembadocs, which has a API connection, and that's how she's able to pull a reference database.
Brilliant. Okay. This is from Zach for Will. Did you replace Odoo with Cake?
We're working on it. That's the goal. So hopefully, as we continue to build on kind of user-facing improvement ideas on top of Odoo, we can eventually transition to a full custom operations model. And then I'm in Nick's bucket. I'd love to see Tennessee Cheesecake back on something really simple like QuickBooks Online for finance, and then have our own stack for operations and all the other details of the business like maintenance.
Yep. This is another one for Will. Does Sam log into Odoo as a user?
Oh, great question. So we started out as a single user with an API key. So this was like a Cake OS user for Odoo. And we have since given all the agents that talk to Odoo their own user in the system. And this is also why they got their own email addresses. Everybody just needs their own identity so you know who's doing what. And it really makes sense to the folks that need to go in and troubleshoot.
Excellent. Another one for Will from Trent. You mentioned earlier that you're asking yourself, how would a real software company do this? What are some of the great process improvements that have came out of that?
Oh, yeah. So just a lot of learning. So how does this work, and what is the best way to project manage something like a software project? How would a development company go about this? And just having to do what Sebastian said, just talk to the AI about it. And then if that's not good enough, go to my network or the just general reading. I mean, I've picked up a couple of really nerdy books along the way. So just like having to explore this and really like go to college again to learn how to be a developer.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. For Nick from James, do you prefer Bolt.new or Claude for website building?
So Bolt.new uses Claude as the agent to do all the coding. So Claude is actually using it. Bolt's just like the front end that you're typing into. So it's Claude's doing all the coding.
Okay, so I think this might be for all of you. Are you creating iOS / Android apps or only web apps? Nick?
So mine just works in a web browser. So it works on, we have iPads at every station. We have our team out on job sites using iPhone and Android, and it just runs in a web browser. But
Sebastian?
no.
Yes, I do. I played around a little bit, did one or two iOS apps and an Android app using a framework that's called React Native, which is very web-like. And I can absolutely recommend that. I think the biggest pain of making iOS and Android apps is getting it into the app stores. That's like 10 times the work of building the app itself.
Amen.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
Crazy.
same. It's too much trouble to get stuff, and having to maintain two different things, Android and iOS. My team's split. I have a lot of Android users, a lot of iOS users, and I'm like, no, we're not doing that. We're just going to log in with the browser, and it basically has the same functionality now as an app. So you're not missing a lot. Some things you can't do that you could do on an iOS app, but basically it's the same if it's web based.
Yeah, keep it simple, son. Okay. From Larry, do any of you guys have experience connecting using make.com? How do I protect my company from a privacy standpoint? Connecting emails and ERP can have its risk. That's what makes me nervous. Nick?
That
I have
question
no
has been
experience.
answered. Yeah.
Yeah. Do
I
any
have
of
no
you guys
experience with that.
experience using make.com?
Not
No.
with Make directly, but with N8N, which is a very similar application that's self-hosted. And that's great, honestly. I think Claude makes much better N8N scripts and macros than I could do manually. Same with coding. Basically, it is kind of a visual coding application. Same with Make. So I would absolutely recommend playing around with that.
Okay. And Richard, just so you're aware, we're up on 6 minutes till the top of the hour. We want to be very judicious.
Yeah. We're going to be finished dead on the top of the hour. Absolutely. Okay. So, how do I protect my company from a privacy standpoint? Anybody comments on that?
As we said earlier, just try not to shoot too much data into it and work with data that you generated, and then try to use the app with the real data without the AI.
Okay.
This is from.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. Just to add to that quickly, I used the AI to ask because I don't know anything about it. So I said, can you make the site more secure? Is it private? And I just kept going on a snowball like that to make it more secure because I have no idea what I was doing.
Okay.
Okay, Will, this is from Zach. When will your agents start creating agents?
Oh, yeah, that's a great question. I don't think we want them to. I think that's part of the reason we build our own site. It's kind of like tongue in cheek, right? But that's the reason we built our own software so that we can control for security. So
Okay.
we only allow them to do the things that we want them to do, and then that's it. It's not like
Excellent.
just pumping your data into ChatGPT.
Okay, Marie, this is from Marie. Nick, did you have an ERP system before introducing Bolt? If so, do you still use it?
No, I didn't. We were just on paper, and I had never even seen an ERP system before I started building this, so I didn't even know what one was. So I built one heck of a ERP. So
Love it. Okay, this is for
Amazing.
all three. What are the impacts on your teams? How did they feel in the beginning, and how do they feel now after so much benefit has been clearly achieved? Okay, let's start with Sebastian.
Honestly, it makes everyone very, very happy because the feedback loop is so short. You build something, you get a working functional app. I think it was like the fifth sentence that Nick said, I built an app and it worked. And that's the feeling that everyone has like 10 times a day when starting. And then the things get more complicated, and the euphoria gets, it starts, they just start to get proud and proud and proud. And that's exactly what happens.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Nick.
Any other comments, Kat?
Ashton said, everyone loves it.
Yeah.
At the very start, when it was very simple, like the day I introduced it, my team was like, "Oh my gosh, yes!" Because we have so many problems with the paper. They were really excited to go digital. And it wasn't. It didn't take a couple days until it was good. It was months until it was really smooth. But now what it does is so incredible. We would never look back.
Yeah, one of the best happy accidents was folks would start to see the amazing stuff that was possible, and then they would start to think of new amazing things, and the floodgates
100%.
open, right? And then you're just going to get all this unused talent from your team where they used to think about how to work around your old system that was crappy. Now they're like, oh my gosh, the sky's the limit.
Okay.
Wow.
I've got three more questions and then we're going to close. For Sebastian and Will from Marie, would you start with vibe coding or create an agent first? Will.
100% vibe code.
Okay. Vibe code. Go
100%
ahead.
vibe code. Will.
Vibe code.
Yeah, just do it all. I mean, do it all. So start small. When I train my managers, I have them create a calculator app and post the repo to GitHub. That's it. Just a web calculator app. And once you get that going, you know how everything works and you're off to the races.
Excellent. All right. Last but one question for Will. You mentioned you have team members coding. Were they existing team members or did you hire developers?
Oh no, no developers. Just my Valley Stream managers, my finance manager, my COO, just folks like that are already in the office. Just training them shoulder to shoulder how to run Claude Code and be a developer.
Beautiful. Okay, Richard, we're at time. I don't want to go over, and the water's waiting for me.
I know what it is. Okay. Thank you everyone for joining us today. This has been a fantastic session. I've learned so much and I really want to thank our three our three leaders from the 2-second lean community. You guys have done an incredible job. My buddy fellow Canadian, Nick, Sebastian from across the pond in Germany, and Will, who's eating all that cheesecake. You three are so wonderful in sharing everything you've done. And Paul, thank you so much indeed for thinking about this.
I want to make one last comment, Richard, just so everyone understands. So this was a test bed. We have many other people in the 2-second lean community who are phenomenal at AI, and we hope to continue this if people find value. Everyone, if you think there's something we need to improve, you didn't like the way we did it, anything you want, direct message me so we can continually improve on this. This is a platform we're going to try to see if it works, and we'll go from there. And everyone who's watching, thank you for supporting everyone else and just being there for us. And the three of you, there's no words.
Incredible.
You
Absolutely incredible.
You all blew me out of the water.